Greetings, y'all. So today for my little holiday episode, I'm going to do something a little different because most of these songs, I'm just going to go through my favorite like Christmas holiday songs, and most of them I don't own. Most of them I own digitally, so I don't have the CD or album to hold up. I do have a couple of them, but what I have is packed up. So I'm just going to kind of go through these songs and maybe, give you a little info on each one. These aren't in any kind of order or anything either. From 1981, we have the Waitresses and Christmas Wrapping, which I'm sure all of you are very familiar with. Most of these songs on this list you're going to all be familiar with. This gets played a lot every year. It seems like it gets more and more popular as the years go on. From what I understand, their record label, Z Records or ZE, I don't know how it's pronounced, asked all their artists to contribute a song because they wanted to put out like a compilation, a Christmas holiday compilations to represent the label. So they asked all their artists to, give a song, and this is their Waitresses' contribution to that. Also from 1981, we have Billy Squier, Christmas is the Time to Say I Love You. And this was released originally as a B-side of his single My Kind of Lover. There was a video that was played on MTV. He did a video with the MTV VJs that was pretty popular and played probably every year for quite a while. And from what I understand, Martha Quinn, one of the original VJs, said that filming that video for this song was her favorite moment at MTV, all her time at MTV. That was her favorite moment. I don't know. They probably filmed it. I don't know when they filmed it, what time of year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was filmed like in the summer or something and they just turned the whole studio into Christmas. So that probably was what made it a little more special than usual, But great tune, really one of those songs. I don't know that it gets played a ton on radio, but it's really a great tune. I mean, for an artist like that in the 80s to kind of create sort of a new, same with the Waitresses, to create this kind of new Christmas song, a classic that's very like catchy, you always think of like the standards and the classics like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, et cetera, et cetera. So, you just don't think somebody's going to come up with something in like the 80s that's going to kind of last, through the years. But if you haven't heard, that one's one you may not be familiar with, but you should definitely check it out or add it to your list or whatever. It's a great tune. From 1970, we have the Jackson 5 and Up on the Housetop. This is probably my favorite Christmas tune of all time. Probably, maybe I should have saved it for the last one, but whatever. I love this tune. It's my favorite. I remember growing up as a kid, we had the Jackson 5 Christmas album that this was on. And just always remember it playing in the background around that time. And it's really catchy, a great tune. They kind of changed up some of the lyrics a little bit to kind of fit in more with their personalities. And the original is from, what is it, 18? Originally, this was written in 1864, which I had no idea. I always thought this was, they changed some of the lyrics, but I always thought this was like a Motown creation. But apparently this is from 1864. And, it'd been covered a bunch of times, and then they did it and updated it a little bit. But I love this tune. Like I said, it's my favorite Christmas tune of all time. From 1997, no doubt, an Oi to the World. This is a cover of a 1996, only a year earlier, tune by the Vandals, a Southern California punk band with a bit of a sense of humor about them. And this was released, No Doubt did this, and they released it on the 1997 release of a very special Christmas number 3. They put out a bunch of those, albums, like, I don't know if it was subsequently every year, but I have another tune from one of those albums coming up. But great tune, fun song. I kind of like the No Doubt version, obviously better than the Vandals one, but just a fun kind of tune, goofy lyrics and everything. From 2012, we have the Primitives and You Trashed My Christmas. This is similar to the Waitresses. The Primitives had regrouped, and they were with Elephant Records, their label, and in the 2000 whatever, 10s or whatever you want to call it. And so the label was same thing as Z Records. They were looking to put out a compilation of all their artists doing like a holiday Christmas song. So this was the Primitives' contribution, and great tune again. Same like kind of fun, kind of with these kind of like a little bit darker kind of lyrics and whatever, but it really upbeat song. It's a cool tune. I'm sure this is one you probably maybe have never heard, but you should definitely check it out. I'll put links below to all of these if I can find them on YouTube, but that's a great tune by the Primitives. 1987, we get U2's cover of Christmas, Baby Please Come Home. Like I had mentioned about the No Doubt song, this was from the very first very special Christmas album that was put out. They were put out for charity. I think Special Olympics benefited from all those. And I just love this tune. I mean, Darlene Love did the original, and that is classic and is great as well. But something about this version that I just really like, and this was kind of like U2 at when they were really kind of like, this was right after Joshua Tree, and they just kind of really were like, had just become like the biggest band in the world, essentially, and so they were riding on that wave when this came out. But great tune. There's a video for it that was played a lot on MTV as well. The original, like I said, Darlene Love, it was on this Phil Spector Christmas album, which I have the CD of, but it's boxed up somewhere. 1977, we get the Kinks and Father Christmas, and this is again like the humor Ray Davies put into this song of Christmas. Like Ray Davies is the only person who's going to write like a Christmas song like this about how the kids are pushing Santa Claus over and stealing all of his money, and what a miserable time it is. But it's a classic tune that gets played all the time, and I grew up hearing on the radio all the time at Christmas, and it's an awesome tune. 1977, he put this out. I think it's on like some of their compilations, but I don't think it was ever on a official album. Maybe it was like a bonus track on a reissue or something like that, but I think it was just released as a single by itself originally. From the Home Alone 2 soundtrack, now we've got Darlene Love. I'm not going to leave her off of this list by no means, but we have the song from the movie called All Alone at Christmas. And again, like I was saying earlier about like in the 80s, so like here the 90s come along, and they put out this song that sounds like it's been around forever, and it's a new song. Like I could have sworn when I first heard it that it was a cover, but it wasn't. It feels like it belongs on that Phil Spector album. It's so like timeless, and it's so classic. And Steve Van Zandt of Bruce Springsteen's band wrote this, and the E Street Band plays on this, and the Miami Horns. So it has that kind of feel. You could almost hear Springsteen singing this song, but of course, she belts it out and just probably just takes it to that level that makes it all the more better. And it's a great tune, All Alone at Christmas. From 1963, we get the Ronettes and Sleigh Ride, another song that I really always liked growing up. And this is from the same Phil Spector album that Darlene Love is a part of. And the Ronettes just did an amazing job with this song. It's been covered a million times, but their song is usually the one you hear on the radio, and it's the classic. Or the original was written in 1948, I guess, as an instrumental, and then 1950 somebody else added lyrics to it, the lyrics that and then they did their version in 63 on the Phil Spector Christmas album, and it's become a classic and great tune. And I mean, their harmonies, their singing is just about as good as it can get. So that's another one of my favorites, Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes. From 1989, we've got Mavis Staples from the Staples Singers singing the theme to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is Christmas Vacation. Another good tune. Apparently, I guess this song was written because this was the only National Lampoon Vacation movie that didn't use Holiday Road, and they wanted something to replace that, so this was created. In the opening of the movie, it's kind of like this animated Santa Claus kind of, going through all these troubles, while the song's playing. It's kind of cool. It almost reminds you of like an old Warner Brothers cartoon or something like that. But great tune, really good. And the soundtrack for the movie was never released. There was a bootleg floating around for a while that claimed to be official or a special edition or whatever, but it was a bootleg. And so this song, I mean, I don't know if it's available digitally somewhere. I don't even know where I got it from. Somebody must have passed it on to me, but it's never been like, there's no official CD release of this. There should be. It's a great tune, you know, and she sings the hell out of it. 1994 brings us the Muffs and Nothing for Me. This song is all about there being no presents under the tree for you. It's kind of a downer, but it's got that kind of spirit, you know, and it's one of my favorite bands, the Muffs, and you know, the late great Kim Shattuck wrote this in '94. Same thing as what I mentioned previously about some other ones. Their label that they had released some stuff for, Sympathy for the Record Industry, wanted songs for, you know, we're going to release a compilation, and the Muffs contributed this song. And it was on there. I got it from there. They put out like a compilation of like B-sides and rare stuff or whatever called Hamburger. That's where I got this from. And it might be they redid that compilation as, I think, Caboodle. And I don't know if it's on that. It might be on that. It should be on that. But great track, the Muffs, Nothing for Me. You know, kind of like a little offbeat Christmas tune. Not like typical stuff you hear, but Christmas song nonetheless, and a good one. Finally, 1967 brings us the Royal Guardsmen and Snoopy's Christmas. This is kind of a novelty tune. They had done a previous song, like Snoopy versus the Red Baron, that was, I guess, kind of a minor hit or whatever, and then this was a follow-up. They just kind of kept with that Snoopy and Red Baron motif and put out this Christmas song, and it's really good. I remember being a little kid and maybe in like first grade or kindergarten, who knows, and hearing this song and really liking it. And I remember wanting to ask him for this record, maybe for Christmas, and I remember my mom bought it. There was some other like knockoff Snoopy and the Red Baron record out at this time, and my mom bought that by accident, so it was like the wrong thing. And you know, I was so bummed, you know, because it was just like, what is this, man? This ain't that song I wanted. But you know, a really cool, fun tune. You know, it's just, I don't know, this is like that nostalgic kind of thing, same sort of as the Jackson 5, but this is strictly like, you know, something that 100% brings me back to like my childhood and Christmas time or whatever, and just remember always this being on the radio and hearing it, and I always loved it. But good tune, fun song, you know. So those are my favorite Christmas holiday songs. You know, there are other ones obviously, but these are the ones that I particularly like the most. And you know, I'd be more than happy to hear some suggestions, what you think of some of these tunes. By all means, drop your favorites in the comments there. I would love to hear them. Maybe if there's stuff I don't know, add it to my you know, catalog. But I hope you all have a good holiday. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.